And let us welcome Dr. Ahmed Youssef. He is the neonatal consultant at Midland Metropolitan Hospital. He has also has completed his Caesar application for neonatal medicine, and now he become one of the GMC appraisers for Caesar neonatal medicine as well. So Dr. Ahmed has had extensive experience in neonatology in the Gulf and in Egypt before coming here to the UK. And he had an impressive journey really during his Caesar, which was very actually short because he was very well prepped for it, even before he comes to the country. So let us welcome Dr. Ahmed, and I will move over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad, for this nice introduction. I will start to share my screen. Is that okay? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see it now. No, we can see it, yes.
Okay. So thanks for Dr. Ahmed. I think he covered most of the things that will be shared, but I will highlight what is the differences between pediatric and neonatal one. So the name now changed to Portfolio Vasway. The old one was Caesar. So to be like a neonatal certified or can work like a registered fully with a GMC specialty under neonatal medicine, it is non-CCT and under neonatal. So the GMC Portfolio Busway for non-CCT neonatal medicine allows doctor to join the specialist register by proving knowledge, skills, and experience, and should be equivalent to a UK neonatal consultant. So imagine it is a day one neonatal consultant after finishing the great training also as well after 7 years of training. So all the evidence should be equivalent to all of this evidence. Then the candidates must submit a portfolio of evidence aligned with the RCBCH curriculum standards and neonatal syllabus. At the end, I will show you the curriculum and the syllabus, and also there is a website link so you can download and keep them with you. So applicants must submit a portfolio of evidence against the relevant curriculum, as we mentioned, and needing at least 6 months of specialist training or qualification outside the UK. So, I mean, to answer the question, so you need at least 6 months of neonatal experience or training outside UK. If you have done a training program, as we will mention in the next slides, if this neonatal training program, like a neonatal fellowship, is recognized by the GMC, so no need to show all the evidence, only to upload the certificate. So you need to check this one before you're applying. But most of the countries, I think, I know one of our colleagues, he came from Spain, and no need to do all the portfolio, only he uploaded his certificate and that's it. So the applications are made through the GMC online. So the key requirements for neonatal medicine. So the evidence standards, so you must demonstrate equivalence to the current UK neonatal medicine curriculum. The essential evidence should be a clinical experience. So, I mean, it is quite different from the training. I think my previous colleagues demonstrated this. So you should be ready, to be honest, when you start to think about uploading the evidence and applying for this. But you can organize, like in about 1 year time, this what happened with me while I'm preparing for this in Saudi Arabia, just to prepare your logbooks, showing a wide variety of neonatal cases, including preterm, surgical, and cardiac, indicating the ability to manage complex cases independently. So this includes all the communication, but all of the evidence should be signed off and verified by a verifier also as well at the end. Resuscitation, it is simple. It is not complicated. So you need NLS. If you are coming from overseas, you can have NRB Child protection, quite important one. So you need to a level 3 training in children's assessments. So all the work-based assessments, SLEs, CBDs, feedback from clinical supervisor, and 360-degree feedback. So this means including the parents also as well. The duration, so you need like to submit your evidence in 1 year time after you start, but I mean, you have 24 months to gather and submit the evidence via GMC online. The time processing is quite, they mentioning like 3 to 6 months, but it takes, to be honest, more than this. The application process, so you need to register on GMC online. No need to go through this because when you just open the GMC website, there's a very clear guidance how to do this by stepwise. Then map your evidence, use the specialty specific guidance and neonatal syllabus. Then gather the evidence, so collect the evidence demonstrating for the new process now, he said higher level learning outcomes. Previously, they are making in a point, so like how to collect, but now it is not necessary. But at the end, it is the same one, so it is not a big difference. Verification, so all the documents must be verified, for example, by a medical director or a consultant for each single hospital you have done your neonatal experience, or like in the last 5 years. For example, if you have worked in 3 hospitals, different hospitals, you need a consultant or medical director to be your verifier. Submissions, and once you have collected all these, so you need to submit through the GMC website. Going to the new one, like pediatric high-level learning outcomes. So they are mentioning like professional values and behavior, communication, clinical procedures, patient management, health promotion and illness prevention, leadership and team working, patient safety, including safe prescription, quality improvement, safeguarding, education, research, and scholarship. Then verification of your evidence, as the form Dr. Ahmed have shown you in the previous one. It's quite similar to this system. So this is the old one for the Caesar. It's like domain 1, domain 2, and 3, and 4. When you still uploading you'll find the same things, but I mean, quite they make it such easier way, but at the end it's the same. So it is examples here, not like the whole process. So like domain 1, you'll find you have to upload your CV. So your CV should be updated, and they have some guidance how to write your CV. So I mean, everyone have his CV, but I mean, you can change it to reflect what they need from you. So should be updated and detailing at least the last 5 years when you are submitting your evidence. Qualifications, I mean, the quite important one is the MRCPCH. If you don't have MRCPCH, quite difficult to be, I mean, successful. They will mention, no, we can take what like MD, whatever. But I mean, to be honest with you, if you don't have MRCPCH, just finalize your MRCPCH, step back, then once you are ready, you can go through all the process again. All the assessments, including direct observed procedures and appraisals in the last 5 years. The appraisal means the annual appraisals for at the end of each year for the last, at least for the last 5 years. For the procedures, it's starting from for neonatal, from IV cannulation till like umbilical lines, long lines, intubation, and all the essential procedures. Lumbar puncture. So all of these should be signed off from one of your consultants. Your logbook. So all logbook should contain like your usual daily activities. Will be a huge one and extensive one. Just enumeration without anything like extract of case statistics. So all the cases admitted while you are on call, for example, should be listed. So you need to remove all the patient data, as you know, and all of this. So the team from the GMC will help you to do this from the start, because the guidance are very clear. Medical reports, referral letters, clinic letters. So if you didn't attend any clinic, so I'm advising you to attend it, and like type your letter under your names. You can include the consultant name, but you need to remove his name before uploading the evidence. Case history, like enumerate some cases where like complex management in neonatal medicine. Patient lists, as I mentioned, and rota. So all your rota in the last 5 years should be uploaded also as well. You need to remove all the other, for example, fellows or trainees from the rota before submitting it. Employment letter from each hospital you have worked or contract. Research papers, I mean, research quite important. You can have, if you are in the UK, have GCP, but at least you can participate for a single research in the last 5 years. Publication, at least also if you need one single publication. Clinical guidelines, you should be contributed in guidelines or reviewing guidelines, and you should show an evidence of this. Presentations, lectures, and teaching, all of these with feedback. Your CPD, your CME, so all certificates, you can collect them in one document and put the number of the page and so on. So all of these evidence, as Dr. Ahmed mentioned, no need to be uploaded, each single one. So you can, for example, the reports, the clinic letters. So if you, for example, you have 20 clinic letters, you can put all in one file and like enumerate it. Your teaching and training experience, if you have a formal training one. This is a domain one. So domain two, it is participation in audits, quality improvement projects, service improvement, and health and safety. So you need to upload evidence, at least one of these. For example, the audit, like complete audit circle, quality improvement, completed one, and so on. Domain three, communication with colleagues and patients. Should be clinic letters, discharge letters, referrals, emails. Domain four, acting with honesty and integrity. Certificates, for example, for good standing, feedback, and courses you have attended. And at the end, it's the same, verification of your evidence. Should be reviewed by your verifier, and there is a form at the end. You should put the number of the evidence, number of the page correctly, and they will all checked by your GMC advisor also as well. Just be careful about to include any patient details. Sometimes you are thinking it is in a PDF or like in a Word file. Just you are making highlighter in a black, just seen, but they have some programs to discover all these. They are double checking this. And if you submitted any patient detail, or for example, a trainee who you have assessed for their work or something, you should remove their name, but their name and details. But if it is included, the advisor will advise you to take this one off, remove the name and upload, but they will say, they will mention this to the RCPCH or now for the assessors also as well from the GMC. So your application will not be successful. They will ask you to reflect on this one and like have to recertify in a course for like patient safety, patient the information protection and so on. If you submit this, it will be successful, but it's a waste of time and money also as well. Just be careful from the start also as well. Here are the link for the neonatal medicine syllabus. You can download it, and pediatric specialty specific guidance. You can keep this tool with you and just make them your guide for the future use. So I'll show you now what is a neonatal syllabus. Can you see this? Yeah. So it is the updated one. So it is number 3, version 3. If you go through it, like you see the version and the updates. So it started from 2018, 2020, 2023. So it is a guidance for the grade trainee but you can go through all of these. So you need to fulfill all of them. So I mean, it is a large one. So just go in details. No time. I mean, for the limitation. For example, management neonatal disorders. So you should fulfill all. Like you can submit an evidence you have dealt with or managed a case of respiratory, cardiovascular, GI, neurological, renal, genetic, hematology, metabolic, and so on, and the procedures also as well. The other one is the pediatric. So it is more specific for pediatric, but it will give you a guidance how your evidence looks like, and what is expecting from you. For example, here the professional values and behavior, communication and procedures, and so on. Okay, just be careful when you collecting your evidence, just to anonymize any patient detail or any colleague detail at all. It is a huge one. For example, here's the employment letters. So provide a copy of the relevant employment letter to demonstrate your eligibility of the portfolio pathway. Going back. So it's not a huge one. It is similar to pediatric, but there is some, for example, no need to upload any evidence for a community pediatric at all. But at the end, it's similar process again. So it was a quick one, and like no time to go through the neonatal syllabus or the pediatric guidance one in details. But you are welcome now to ask any questions regarding the neonatal medicine evidence.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed. It's really informative, and I think there's lots of interested people, especially for the neonatal Caesar pathway here in the group. I'm not sure Dr. Mahmoud can.
I can see it. Shall we start with the last question? I think is more relevant, and then we can go back to the previous questions. So the first one is accepted if I bring neonatal evidence from tertiary hospital where I worked 11 years ago. Also, can I bring other evidence from level 1 hospital in UK from only one consultant?
To answer the first questions, so the evidence should be in the last 5 years. The old evidence before 5 years, it will be helpful, but you need like an evidence in the last 5 years that you are keeping the same skills or the same evidence you have collected previously. It will be helpful if it is neonatal medicine, but I mean, in the last 5 years should be at least 6 months fresh training or like experience as well.
Okay, the second one is about the evidence from level 1 hospital in UK from only one consultant.
So level 1, I mean, it will not help for the complexity of the cases. So we know like in they are accepting, I think, 34 weeker and above, and they are not exposed like mean to like complex cases, intubated cases, surgical cases, and they are not cover all the procedures. So it's not quite enough, to be honest. Unless if you have worked previously in a level 3, for example, in overseas or something, and like you and like no exposure also to the clinics covering like complex cases, developmental clinic, all of these need to be fulfilled.
We have another question from Muhammad Ali. How long do I need to upload from registration till submission?
So I think I mentioned in the first slide, I think it is 2 years. Once you submitted, you have 1 year, as Dr. Ahmed mentioned, to be. Once you open the website till submission, it is 1 year to upload your evidence, because it is a lengthy process. So, for example, you have uploaded your CV, then will be reviewed by the advisor. The advisor is not like a medical person or doctor. I mean, they are staff from the GMC, but they are trained to look after all of these documents. the review it. If it is like fulfilling criteria and guidance for the GMCs, you'll accept this CV, and they will mention to you accepted, and so on. For example, if you have uploaded a document where including some patient data, they will advise you, but at the end, try to avoid this because it means a failure. They can accept your evidence, submit, but at the end, you need to submit an evidence that you will avoid this and reflect it in the future.
I think we have another question about is level 3 experience is mandatory or optional as per regulations, no assessor subjection?
I mean, if you ask this question, I mean, to the RCBCH or the GMC, and they mentioned clearly it is unnecessary. But I mean, going to the fact they need, for example, an experience for post-surgical cases, experience for high frequency and nitric oxide also as well. They have at least like one complex cases for like CDH, congenital diaphragmatic hernia. So all of these and the clinics also as well. So and ex-preterm babies, if you don't have any experience, previous experience from overseas, for example, to submit, and you have only level 2, it will not be successful. So we need to review carefully the neonatal syllabus and fulfill each single point in the syllabus itself.
Good. There is another from Tarek is asking about if I open the application and didn't load anything for 1 year, what will happen?
So you receive a reminder from the GMC. I think they will close the application for this one. So I couldn't remember exactly now. So, if you pay something when you are opening the application, or only at the time of submission, because if it is not successful or the evidence they are not convinced from this evidence, they will advise you. They will retain some fee about £50 or £30. Then they will refund the remaining. So you need. I mean, if you didn't pay anything at the time, so they need to close this application and you need to do a new application again. But you can keep your evidence. Whatever you have collected, you can reapply again.
Yeah, he said no payments.
Okay.
Yeah, just before we end, I'll just go back to the previous question from the last session by Maha. Do I have to work outside the UK for 6 months to get my application approved for Caesar?
Yeah, it is mandatory for the non-CCT. For pediatrics, it's not mandatory, general pediatrics, but for non-CCT, like subspecialties, for neonates, I'm aware, so they need at least 6 months training or experience from outside the UK before starting to be submitted. You'll know this one when you contact the GMC to open an application. They will advise you carefully. If you don't have this experience, you will decline your application.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed. That was really informative, and from your perspective as well as an assessor, that I think give us lots of information which can be easily used in the future applications, which I do encourage all of our colleagues who are thinking about it to start, because that will take time, as you mentioned, and there will be also kind of submitting and resubmitting sometimes as well. So thank you very much for.
It is a huge evidence. Just at the end, to be careful when you reviewing your evidence before submitting to them, because it is a painful when they will say that you have included one of the doctor's name, you have assessed, or a patient details. Because I mean, they will not like keep it quiet. They will escalate it, but they will ask you to complete the application. So you need to submit another one at the end.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed.
Thank you.
If there's any question before we end our meeting?
Would just like to remind the attendants, please fill the feedback survey just to get your certificates. So I share the link, please try to fill it.